Hey, welcome back. In this episode, we're going to learn about storage security. My name is Sushant Sutish, and I'm your trainer for this AZ303 certification course. So, without wasting any more time, let's get into it. Azure Storage provides a comprehensive set of security capabilities that together enable developers to build secure applications. So let's look at the high level security capabilities of Azure Storage. First, let's understand encryption. All data within the Azure Storage is automatically encrypted using Storage Service Encryption or SSE. Second security level is authentication. Azure Active Directory and role based access control are supported for Azure Storage for both resource management operations and data operations. Next is data in transit. Data can be secured in transit between an application and Azure by using client side encryption, HTTPS, or SMB 3.0. The next way to secure your data is using disk encryption. Operating systems and data disk used by Azure virtual machines can be encrypted using Azure Disk Encryption. The next one is shared access signature. Delegated access to the data object in Azure Storage can be granted using shared access signature. Now let us look into authorization options. Every request made against a secured resource in the blob, file, queue, or table service must be authorized. And authorization ensures that resources in your storage account are accessible only when you want them to be, and only to those users or application to whom you grant access. So let's look at the options available for authorizing requests to Azure Storage. First, Azure Active Directory or Azure AD. Azure AD is Microsoft cloud-based identity and access management service. With Azure AD, you can assign fine-grained access to users, groups, or applications via role-based access control. Second method is to use shared key. Shared key authorization relies on account access keys and other parameters to produce an encrypted signature string that is passed on the request to the authorization header. Third authorization option is to use shared access signature. Shared access signature or SAS delegate access to a particular resource in your account with specified permission and over a specified time interval. And the fourth method is to use anonymous access to containers and blobs. You can optionally make blob resource public at the container or blob level. A public container or blob is accessible to any user for anonymous read access, and read requests to public container and blob do not require authorization. Alright, so first understand account keys. So I'm going to take you to the Azure portal to show you where you can find the account keys. So within the Azure portal, click on Storage Accounts, select an existing account, and under Settings, you can see Access Keys. The shared access keys in Azure Storage Account are called Storage Account Access Keys. Azure creates two of these keys, primary and secondary, for each storage account you create, and they give access to everything in the account. And you can view the created storage keys in the Azure portal. So how can you protect these shared keys? Because there are only two keys, they provide full access to your account. So it is recommended to only use the key with trusted in-house applications that you have complete control over. And if the keys are compromised, you can change the key value in the Azure portal. So one option is you can regenerate them on a regular basis for security reasons. And you must regenerate your storage keys if someone managed to hack into your application and retrieve the key that was hard-coded or saved in a configuration file. Please note that any client attempting to use the old key value will be refused. You must make sure to identify all clients using the shared key and update them to keep them operational. Now let's understand shared access signatures. You can find the shared access signature again within the storage account under Settings. Click on Shared Access Signature. So shared access signature is a URI that grants restricted access rights to Azure storage resources. And you can provide a shared access signature to clients who should not be trusted with your storage account key, but whom you wish to delegate access to certain storage account resources. A SaaS key gives you a granular control over the type of access you want to grant to clients who have the SaaS. You can provide an account level SaaS can delegate access to multiple storage account, an interval over which the SaaS is valid, including the start time and the expiry time. The permissions granted by SaaS, a blob might grant read and write permission to the blob, but not delete permissions. And as you create your SaaS, a URI is created using the parameters and tokens. And the URI is consist of the storage resource URI and the SaaS token. Now let's understand the storage service encryption. Azure Storage Service Encryption, or SSE for data at rest, helps you protect your data to meet your organizational security and compliance commitments. With this feature, the Azure Storage Platform automatically encrypts your data before persisting it to Azure Managed Disk, Azure Blob, Queues, Table Storage, or Azure Files and decrypts the data before retrieval. And all data written to the Azure Storage Platform is encrypted through 256-bit AES encryption, which is one of the strongest block ciphers. Let us look into the customer managed keys. If you prefer, you can use the Azure Key Vault to manage your encryption keys. With the Key Vault, you can create your own encryption keys and store them in a Key Vault. Or you can use Azure Key Vault APIs to generate encryption keys. Using custom keys give you more flexibility and control when creating, disabling, auditing, rotating, and defining access controls. Another important concept for this examination is understanding securing storage endpoints. Let me take you to the Azure portal to show you where you can find that. So I'm on my Azure portal within a storage account. Right under settings, go to networking. This is where you would be able to define storage endpoints. This step is necessary to restrict network access to Azure services. For accessing a storage account, you would use the firewall and virtual network plate to add the virtual network that will have access. You can configure to allow access to one or more public IP addresses, and firewall and virtual network allows to restricting access to storage account for specific subnet on virtual network as well. And subnets and virtual network must exist in the same Azure region or region pair as the storage account. Please note that it is important to test and ensure the service endpoint is limiting access as expected. That concludes this lesson. In the next episode, we're going to look into managing storage. So I will see you in the next one. Until then, take care.